Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. Oh my goodness. I can't wait till I start doing four of them again. And I don't just mean days, I'm thinking about actually doing all four um, soap operas again. So that's gonna be fun. Especially when I just get the names wrong. I'm gonna get to a point I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I'm not even doing another take, we're just gonna go with it. The stuff with Brooke and Ridge, it sometimes when I watch this show, I can't tell if I'm watching an episode or if I'm just watching a filler, where just there's one important part of it, one important part, maybe two important parts of it, and then the third one's just filler. And I guess in some ways, we'll sit there and say maybe two parts are important. I mean, Brooke and Rich didn't really do much of anything. They sat around, they kissed, they talked about poor Taylor and they're back together. Apparently, well, I didn't know that they had a son together. So they talked about the son, as far as, them being back together and how he felt about it. Hopefully they'll bring him on the show. Usually I'm not a fan of just constantly bringing more people into a show like GH, but at least I get to sit there and see their son. Um, So yeah, they sat around. They talked about Sheila. Nothing really new, and they were just happy that they were back together and talking about Quinn and Eric and how they're not together. And that was pretty much about it. Now, like I said, they were seemed like they were mostly filler. Now, after Taylor started asking a bunch of questions to Deacon, like she was a cop, have you seen Sheila? Do you know where Sheila's at? You have to sit there and tell. Here's the thing. In this episode, she seemed like she was a lot more calmer than in Friday's episode. Friday's episode was like she was literally demanding, like, no, you have to sit there and tell me where she is. You have to do it right now. And they're looking at this whole thing like, yo, has this chick lost her damn mind? You're gonna sit there and walk up in somebody else's place of business and start giving demands. You're joking, right? But after she started asking a bunch of questions where he was like, I don't know, and I don't know. Then he talks about how, he wish he could have did more for um Steffi as far as, trying to get there sooner. Maybe he could have stopped it, which I doubt. He probably just would have wound up getting shot anyway. But Taylor did thank him. Kind of odd because it's from the time that Steffi got shot, him calling the ambulance and everything, her recovering, waking up, all that. I don't think she's once said thank you. Hell, I don't. I mean, granted, there was a point I stopped watching it. But did Reg ever actually thank him for that? Or did he just, act like the self entitled dick that he is? I'm genuinely curious about that. Because Taylor did thank him, which was nice to sit there and see. Now, they were sitting there talking about how Brooke got, how Reg, moved back into the house with Brooke and got back together. And Deacon was all like, oh, well, it's going to be so much more harder to see them now. I don't have my own place. I was like, have you ever heard of Starbucks? I mean, I wouldn't sit there and say Dunkin' Donuts because I don't, high society and everything like that. So I feel like Starbucks is more their speed, but they can go out, they can do things, they can be in the park or whatever. LA has some great weather. It's not like, him sitting there whining and stuff like that. Oh, it's going to be so much more harder to see Hope and the grandkids. No, it won't. No, it won't. And it never was. I'll actually tell you the truth. They, how Rich felt about Deacon being there. Hope should have had enough respect for him to be like, you know what? I can see my dad somewhere else. Let's not do that here. Let's respect his house and, their house and his space and everything like that. But nope. But he's not there whining about that. Taylor's all like, yeah, I'm upset. And, it's when I was reading the comment section, And people were sitting there saying it's not like Taylor didn't know that she was sitting there messing around with a married man, making out with a married man, sleeping in the same bed, or being just really doing a lot of stuff with a married man that she shouldn't have been doing. You know, I mean, damn, they practically almost had sex, and now that he decided to go back to his wife, she's all mad and upset, like, and hell, she even sat there and said, "You know what? I saw this coming." When Deacon was like, "Yeah, I saw this coming," or whatever, and she saw it coming. So not only did she not see, the fact that Brooke and Ridge was most likely going to get back together, but she still continued to play this. Oh, we're going to get back together. She still continued to play the girlfriend, ex-wife card like they're going to get back together, knowing the whole time that he was still married and knowing there was a good chance of him being back with Brooke. Which is why when he told her, I didn't feel bad for her. I really didn't feel bad for her. Now, I wasn't like, oh, Team Taylor and Team Brooke and Team Taylor. I was just more like about Team Logic. Now, Team Logic would suggest, by history, and just how he's been with Taylor so far, that, he was at peace and things of that nature, and that he was more happier with Taylor and was more simpler with Taylor, and Brooke was more chaotic, scandals, all that good stuff. But, and I said this to a subscriber, and maybe that's what he's attracted to. Maybe he's attracted to that, as weird as that sounds, that he's attracted to a certain level of dysfunction. You know? Um, but yeah, she's all sad and upset, and, he's all sad and upset a little bit. I'm like, bro, I was like, yo, Deacon, as much as I like you, you don't get off the hook either. He literally was delusional the entire time. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get back together with Brooke. I'm gonna get back together with Brooke." I'm like, you do realize that Brooke is a married woman. From the jump, she been sitting there talking about how she wanted to be with her husband multiple times, and so for him to sit there and even have an ounce of, oh, I feel kind of mad. I'm kind of, I'm like no, bro, you don't get a pass at this either. Okay, both of you dumbasses deserve exactly what y'all got, and I don't feel bad for either one of y'all two. Um, Now Sheila, uh, Sheila. Say one thing, Sheila always managed to find a way to keep it interesting and mix it up, and craziness is just it's entertaining to an extent. As she starts trying to take people out with killer bees and attack dogs. Um. Anyway, she's doing her usual song and dance, her usual excuses of, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were here. It's never gonna happen again." What do you expect him to do? You expect him to sit there and say, "Oh, Sheila, you now cross your heart. You're never gonna sit there and try to shoot me on my wife again, right? We good? All right, cool. All right, listen, let's just let bygones be bygones, and we'll just forget that whole shooting me and the love of my life, and practically leaving my my child and our children, without parents. Yeah, we're just gonna sit there and it'll be water under the bridge." I can't believe she asked when she said that it'll never happen again. I, I didn't know if I should laugh or cry because they were both just so. You ever just laugh to a point where you have tears coming down your eyes? I couldn't believe and a level. Anyway, after all of that happens, um, Finn decides to try to play her. It's like, hey, yeah, I want to believe you, and I want to believe that you're telling the truth, and I feel like, so I feel like at this point, that thing comes down. I'm just gonna keep going. So yeah, he starts to play her, and then he's all like, I need to go to a hospital. He's like, no, I can't do that. I told you no hospitals. They were gonna give up on you, and I can sit there and take care of you. I'm a nurse, and he's a doctor. So just I don't. I mean, I know what they say that doctors can be their own worst patients, but maybe you can kind of give you a little bit of pointers. Just saying, I mean, they kind of go to school for this exact thing. Um, Man, I remember a couple years ago when I actually started watching this. Um, and Sheila, I mean, Steffi meant Sheila. No, Steffi meant Finn, and that's when you had uh, Sally. Sally wanted to be with Wyatt so bad that she kidnapped Flo and was just hella desperate. I remember I was not there after I got out the movies from seeing Thor: Love and Thunder, which I highly recommend everyone to go and watch. I will admit that there's parts that's kind of emotional, even for a superhero movie. Um, anyway, I was not there. On my way back, I was thinking about the first time I wound up doing, well, one of my favorite videos that I did that I had to erase because apparently somebody gave me a copyright strike was a video that I titled "Don't Be a Sally." And I don't think I can sit there and mimic that video if I tried. I think that character pushed me so far over the edge that I pretty much made I guess a warning guide to never ever 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 be that desperate to ever want to get with a man. Okay? Ever. Because trust me, we ain't worth it. Not on that level. Okay? And I was just like, I can never probably do a video like that again. Because I was just so in the moment. Um yeah, after that he was like, he's like, I need medicine. No, I don't really know. You seem like you're strong enough now and you're up, you're talking, and he's like, no, 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 I need you to go get medicine. I need you to go get it now. So she's like, all right, I'll do it. Now, Fenn is going to make the same mistake that Lee made. Okay, he's not even going to give it like a one Mississippi, two Mississippi. He, the minute that she closed the door, practically, and throughout the entire time, he was like, "Oh no, I got to get back to Steffi. I got to sit there and protect him from you," and yada yada. His usual speech or whatever. The minute that she closed the door, he starts willpowering himself to get out. Okay. Now I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, wouldn't it suck? And not sitting there wishing bad even on the character. I'm like, what if you can't move your legs? Now, obviously, he can move his leg, but I was just kept sitting there thinking when he was trying to get up, I'm like, you good, bro? I mean, obviously, he's not good, but I'm sitting there thinking, like, if he lost his ability to use his legs, then he's pretty much kind of screwed. Um, but he's trying to struggle to get up and get out of bed and everything like that, and that's pretty much where it ends. Now, obviously, and I'm just 90. I feel like I'm confident enough to sit there and say 90%. Okay, because there's always a 10% of the writers throw a curveball. 90%, he gets up, he tries to get to the door, he's crawling or whatever, he gets to the door, and she was like, oh, see, I knew I couldn't trust you. Because I don't really feel that Sheila was buying what Finn was selling as far as, yeah, I forgive you, or, yeah, I want to believe you, and this, that, and the third. Sheila's crazy, but Sheila's not stupid. And I feel like people really do underestimate the difference between crazy and stupid. Okay? The Joker is crazy. but he's not stupid. Hell, he's outsmarted Batman a couple of times. The world's greatest detective. Okay? So, people tend to underestimate Sheila because she's crazy. They don't realize, or I'm sorry, the plot doesn't let them realize that, because plot's more important, that Sheila isn't stupid. I feel like that's about it, Dom. Um, so I'm trying to use this week to gauge me being able to do 4 reviews because I'm going to be watching Beyond Salem, and trying to do reviews on that. And I feel like my schedule is somewhat at a point where I can do it. Um, and since most of the CW shows that I've watched are coming to an end, either it's just finales or being finals and it's still pissing me off, I have more time to watch a lot of my extra shows on the weekends. Like I'm catching up with final season of Lost in Space on Netflix. Another show I highly recommend. Um, but I feel like I'm at a place where I feel like I can try to do um more reviews. And every now and then I will sit there and either watch a preview of YNR or watch the first few minutes of YNR because I am still interested. And hell, I did not spend all that time to learn all those names just so that way I can sit there and forget them. But I want to gauge this week first, you know. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.